I think in those pictures, you can see pretty much all the formats we used, the 35 and
Very little.
which we used very little, a 4x5, which we used a great deal, a 2 1/4, 2 3/4. Is that right, Doug?
Yeah, that doesn't appear here.
I think it is in one of those. We used a 2 1/4 by 2 1/4.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's it. Um, we were a little we were so adept, I think, at using these formats, though less so the 35, because we didn't think it would have the resolution. And we always thought that we might have trouble mixing those formats. It turns out, I think it was that actually gave the whole project more dimension, that certain things have a different presence in one format than another. And we needed some agility, so we initially were what we call large format photographers. On the first trip, that's all we used, I think. And by the way, we even ran over one of our own cameras. We lost one of them.
Oh.
We put it on the hood of the car, and we backed up, it fell off, and we ran over it.
Wow.
And,
Tell me about, and I was trying to bring it up on the screen, but the large camera that stands on a tripod that you are using a cloth?
They were called Deerdorfs, who was a famous maker in Chicago, and they're still highly prized.
So they were, they were the same kind of camera that some of those early documentary photographers used, landscape photographers, Civil War photographers. There was no handheld camera until the 30s,
20s, late
20s, yeah.
So did you use that camera primarily for landscapes, like the marsh images? And
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we mixed it up actually but
anyway, that was the original.
We were in a boat. We didn't use that camera.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell me about the processing of film and how you guys did this on the road.
So, because there may be people who have never seen this.
Wow.
But this is a roll of 2 1/4 film. So this is one of the formats that we used. Right, 12, in this case, I think 12 pictures.
I'm going to get something.
On a roll. And then the 4x5 camera that you're talking about.
Wow.
A little shiny here. Let me see if I'll take one of these out of the sleeve. Yeah.
It's a 4x5 negative. You have to develop them more or less one at a time.
As a 4x5 negative.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, processing those must have been pretty sensitive. How did you set up a darkroom?
Well, so we rented a small apartment in Breaux Bridge, and we both knew how to turn a bathroom into a darkroom because we had been doing that in Chicago as well. That's what most graduate students that I knew did. They didn't have their own separate darkroom. They just figured out how to build a darkroom, and make the bathroom part of it.
Put a rack on the bathtub and.
So that's basically that's what we did. We would shoot during the day, and then we would come home, and once it got dark, we would also put blankets or towels up over any windows, and then kneel down. We would put 3 or 4 trays in the bathtub. Developer, stop bath, fixer, wash. And you get down on your knees and develop maybe 4 of these at a time in a tray in complete darkness. So you unload the film out of the film holders in complete darkness, and you process them by feel, 1 tray at a time.
just to,
rotating them in a tray, top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, and trying not to touch the image area.
and so
And
4 at a time, how many exposures are you taking every day? Like, how long were these sessions?
The
Well,
photographic sessions?
well, we would go out and photograph for hours
Every day, almost
So-
every day.
Yeah,
so we had plenty of film to process.
yeah.
And sometimes we didn't get to all of it. We would
Right.
backed up a little bit, but
Uh-huh.
we were pretty caught up by the time we left, I think. I mean, one of the things, I think we talked about this once before with somebody from the museum, but each day we would sort of figure out where we going. Should we go north, south, east, west, whatever? If there was an event that we heard about, like a boucherie or the Mamou Mardi Gras or the Crawfish Festival or whatever, or a place where we knew somebody told us there was something unique, that would be our destination, though we might find something else on the way, or we might just photograph anything that we saw. But we tried to be informed about things that represented the culture as much as possible, particularly the events. And as you know, and now everybody probably does know, that the Cajun culture is so full of, all kinds of gatherings for whatever reason possible, from, the Crawfish Festival to the Shrimp Crab Festival to whatever. So that helped define our journey as much as anything.